Okay, so what just happened there? Well, let's take a look. And I'll start by explaining the function of the chainsaw's two-stroke engine. Entering here at the piston's lowermost point or bottom dead centre, the pulling of the starter pull cord turns the crankshaft, which pushes the connecting rod and the piston upwards. As the piston rises in the cylinder, it creates a suction pressure behind it. This continues to build up as the piston rises. But when the piston gets to this point, it exposes an opening here. This is the inlet port. And that suction pressure behind the piston is now felt all the way up the inlet port, past the inlet boot and inside the induction tube of the carburettor. It's this suction pressure that's drawing in air from the environment, through the air filter, through the whole induction system and into the crankcase area here under the piston. As this air is drawn in, it draws out two-stroke fuel from the main jet of the carburettor, which accompanies the air into the crankcase. As the two-stroke fuel was drawn out of the main jet, the air atomized the fuel and created this misty fog of air and fuel mixed together. And so as this atomized misty fog of air, fuel and oil circulate inside the crankcase, it lubricates the crankshaft's main bearings and the big end bearing where the conrod connects to the crankshaft, as well as the small end bearing and the lining of the cylinder. And as the crankshaft continues to turn, lowering the piston blocks off the inlet port. At the very same time that this is all happening, the piston lowering is starting to compress that mist of air and fuel underneath it. This air and fuel can't escape this compression because the inlet port has blocked off, and so has the other port up here, the exhaust port. And so there's only one place that this compressed air and fuel can go. And that is to the top of the piston, and to explain how this happens, we'll take a different angle view of the engine. As part of the two-stroke engine cylinder, there's a special port built into it here. This then means that when the piston lowers, compressing the air and fuel underneath it, it pushes it up through this port right to the top of the piston. Because this port is now the only open route for the air and fuel, there's no other. So then, as the piston lowers, it's pushing the air and fuel to the top of it. And so when the piston gets to its lowermost point this time, bottom dead centre, it's now got air and fuel above it. And the pulling of the starter cord continues to turn the crankshaft, so it's pushing up into this air and fuel, compressing it. And this is where we start to feel that bouncing resistance on the starter pull cord. At the same time as the piston's rising, it's creating that suction pressure underneath it once again. And it continues to compress the air and fuel even more above it, and at the same time draws in the air and fuel underneath it into the crankcase, repeating that process. The spark plug then fires above the piston and ignites all of that compressed air and fuel, creating the explosion of combustion and forcing the piston back down. Left in its wake is the smoky fumes from the burning of the fuel and oil. The piston lowering blocks off the inlet port once again and compresses the air and fuel underneath it, forcing it up through the transfer port once again to the top of the piston. And as it enters the top of the piston, it flushes out all of them exhaust fumes out through the exhaust port, which is now open, and out through the exhaust muffler. Now left with air and fuel above the piston, from bottom dead centre, the piston rises once again, and repeats this whole process over and over again, up to around 12,000 times every minute.